let's look at adductors from here. So again, it's all about flow of the assessment. So again, he's going to be on his back. He's going to lie all the way up, just like your laying bed. Okay. And I'm going to make sure his pelvis is glued down so he's not hyperextending with his lower back. And I'm just going to look at pelvis. So I'm going to look at it in two contexts. I'm going to do up here, where I test more of the hip extensors. So this would be more adductor brevis, or no, adductor magnus for the hamstring. And then we're going to test down here, which would be more, adductor brevis and pectineus. So you got to remember the adductors. That hurts. Yeah. So you got to remember the adductors work in both hip extension and hip flexion. So can we think, as far as hip flexion adductors, like what two sports would pop out of your head where that would be a really grimy area for people?
Hockey.
Any ideas? Yes. Hockey, yeah, somebody. You said it, right? Yep. And what's another one?
Football player.
Football player, kinda. Maybe. I'm not saying it's only these two sports, but soccer. So why, right? We got hockey guys that are here all the time, and they got soccer guys that are here all the time. So those adductors work in hip flexion, right? The adductor brevis and pectineus. So, and the reason why I say zones of convergence and brief for sports hernias is those are two sports that are notorious for sports hernias. And why is that? A lot of the two, most of them are going to be right-sided sports hernias. Or wait, yes. That doesn't matter. But anyways, sports hernias. So the adductors, there's what we call zones of convergence. So if you look at like the Stecco research, there's basically areas of the body where a lot of stuff comes into one small area and connects. So one area would be like the elbow. The elbow is a very claustrophobic joint. There's a lot of muscles that connect to the elbow, both wrist extensors and wrist flexors. Adductor is another one. So you got all the adductor muscles that are ginormous muscles that attach to the pubis. You get your rectus abdominis that also attaches to the pubis. And it's just a constant, struggle or like constant pull and force coupled on that joint. So the adductors, because people are doing this all the time, have more. Let me get my functional anatomy right here. I'm going to test it myself. The rectus abdominis is going to have more of a superior posterior pull on that pelvis, and the adductors are going to have more of an inferior anterior pull. And usually, more often than not, the adductors are going to win. And that's just an area, like I said, that there's a lot of friction. There's small areas, a condensed area, a lot of muscles are connecting. There's a lot of friction going on, so we're going to develop scar tissues. We're going to develop adhesions, and that can manifest itself upwards into a sports hernia into the adductor, or into the rectus abdominis. So addressing adductor tissue quality again is huge. If Justin were a hockey or soccer player that was like, oh man, this really hurts. Like his literally I'd be like here. Like I'm looking to see if we get him to like 90 degrees. He's pretty good, like both ways. But if he were really grimy up in that high adductor area, it'd be like there. It'd be like, okay, he's not going anywhere. So that's what I'm looking at. And that would be where we're going to stress tissue quality up there, or if I send him to a manual therapist, we call it the grundle. There's no really anatomical word for that area. So the Johnson, or I don't know, just we just call it the grundle. That's the term that we've used at the facility. But that is not a pleasant area to get soft tissue work on. Has anyone ever got any Graston or AOT done in that area? Not fun. It sucks. Like I had it done once where literally our soft tissue guy was in there. I was like, yeah, I just need to get some work. I didn't have a sports hernia or anything, but there's a video somewhere in our office of like me being held down by like two of our pro baseball guys. And I'm like, no, and like I'm getting some grass done on my adductors. And of course I go home and like, babe, look at my bruise, like it's awesome. And she's like, what are you doing? That's not good for you. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm working on tissue quality. But she wasn't buying it. But that's just not a fun area to get worked on. But as an assessment protocol, that it is important to differentiate between the extensors and the flexors of that hip.
How beneficial is doing that type of like aggressive